Now on the CTV News at 5, Alberta reports its first measles death. Plus, there appears to be no plans to head back to the bargaining table days before a teacher strike. And the Canadian Finals Rodeo kicks off in Edmonton.
Telling your stories. CTV News Lethbridge with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. We begin with heartbreaking news. Alberta has its first measles death, and it's a newborn who contracted the virus in utero. This is the second measles death in Canada this year, and the circumstances are similar. The province says the child was born prematurely after the mother contracted measles and died shortly after birth. In June, Ontario had a similar death where a baby died shortly after being born prematurely and infected with measles. Health experts have been warning about the seriousness of the outbreak for months, sounding the alarm over low vaccination rates that are putting increasing pressure on hospitals. Despite having the most measles cases per capita in all of North America, the Alberta government has never officially declared an outbreak. Now, the baby's death comes as the total case count in our province rises to over 1,900. The majority of those cases are in children who are not fully vaccinated. The South Health Zone is just too shy of hitting 1,000 cases since the outbreak began in the spring. The province is still encouraging anyone born in 1970 or later to ensure they have 2 doses of the vaccine. Healthcare workers across the province were rallying outside of hospitals today. It's part of the Health Sciences Association of Alberta's Day of Unity as negotiations with the province continue to stall. Quinn Keenan has that story.
About 100 healthcare workers and supporters were marching outside the Chinook Regional Hospital. Joining them around Alberta were thousands more looking to put pressure on the province.
It's an amazing turnout here today. We've got a great support here in Lethbridge, and it's happening all over the province. Everybody in Medicine Hat, across the province, in Calgary, Edmonton, everybody is out rallying, hoping that we will be heard and the government will take us serious.
59% of HSAA members voted against the latest offer from the province. The association represents 22,000 medical professionals, including paramedics, pharmacists, mental health and addiction counselors, and more. Supporters of the workers believe the province hasn't been treating them fairly.
This is just another example of how our Premier and the UCP are cutting back on our health care, and the HSAA employees are out here to say that they need better working conditions.
The new deal would have seen members receive a minimum 12% raise by 2027. It also featured better benefits, increases to on-call premiums, long service pay, and more. The province is disappointed their offer was rejected, but isn't closing the door on negotiations. In a statement, Minister of Finance Nate Horner's office said, "We are aware of today's HSAA rallies in several communities across Alberta. Alberta Health Services and the HSAA remain at the bargaining table. We are committed to reaching a fair and fiscally responsible agreement that supports healthcare workers and protects taxpayers." Association members will continue to push for a better deal. They say they've been the ones dealing with the ramifications of an overburdened healthcare system.
We're constantly short-staffed and severe burnout, driving lots of professionals out of the healthcare system and out of Alberta, creating crisis in our hospitals and our healthcare centers.
The HSAA isn't considering voting on strike action at this time. Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Now, with just 2 school days left before a teacher's strike, there appears to be no plan for the union and province to meet for last-minute negotiations. Teachers overwhelmingly voted down the latest contract offer, 89.5% saying no to the deal on the table. The province is offering parents $30 a day for every child under 12 during the strike. Alberta Teachers Association President Jason Schilling says bargaining can happen at any time, but a strike feels like the next step.
If government is unwilling to move from what they positioned themselves with last week, we would have to just sit down and see.
And a correction, there is just 1 school day left. Teachers do not receive strike pay and will not be picketing. Instead, rallies will be held as well as demonstrations as part of job action. The first rally is planned for Sunday morning at the legislature. Now, the province says it will make sure people receive their social assistance checks while Canada Post workers are on strike. Those payments include things like assured income for the severely handicapped, seniors benefits, and public guardian and trustee supports. Albertans who receive the benefits will be notified where they can pick up their checks via email or phone. People can also sign up for direct deposit. The province says it won't send out any non-critical mail as long as the strike goes on. Meanwhile, the Federation of Independent Business says Canada Post risks losing nearly 2/3 of its small business customers if the workers' strike continues. The Federation is urging Ottawa to immediately end the strike. It says last year's strike cost small businesses more than $1 billion. The organization says 13% of small businesses have stopped using Canada Post since the last strike, and nearly 2/3 said they would do the same if another strike happened.
Well, we've had some warm temperatures this week so far. We're on the verge of a decent cool down here. In fact, by the weekend, a daytime high in the single digits is what's in store for us, believe it or not. Not right now, though. 17 degrees is the current temperature in Lethbridge. We do have a decent amount of cloud cover that is pushed in throughout the day. All right, looking at temperatures across the board here, 20 in Brooks and Medicine Hat at the moment. At this time of year, not so bad, of course. 18 in Milk River, 15 in Pincher Creek. It has been a little gusty, just over 50 kilometers per hour in Pincher Creek, but that is better than yesterday. And all other communities have really calmed down for this afternoon and for today in general. We're looking at calmer winds tomorrow, but again, we're starting a decent cool down because of a cold front tomorrow night. I'll have more details on that for you coming up.
All right, thanks, Danielle. A 50-year-old missing man has been located healthy and safe in the Crow's Nest Pass. RCMP were notified Tuesday night that a man who had been off-roading in his Jeep along Highway 40 during the day didn't return home that night. The man's family shared videos that he had sent them that afternoon, and that's where members of the Southwest Alberta Search and Rescue Society began looking. Now, the next morning, they were redeployed again, and they found the Jeep, eventually the missing man. RCMP urged backcountry users to inform friends or family of your intended route and expected return time. Lethbridge Police releasing details of their latest enforcement blitz, and this one targeting drug trafficking and open drug use. It's part of the service's efforts to fight crime and social disorder in the downtown over the summer. Officers apprehended nearly 36 people for allegedly openly using drugs. They also executed 84 warrants, seized 170 doses of fentanyl, 100 doses of methamphetamine. They laid 24 criminal charges, apprehended an impaired driver, and they also issued 13 traffic violations. Police urge the public to continue reporting all suspicious and criminal activity. Work is nearly finished on the Whoop-Up Drive Bridge Rehabilitation Project. The city is opening up additional lanes to ease traffic flow. The bridge has been undergoing repairs since a semi-truck hit the underside of the bridge back on August the 6th. 2 lanes of traffic going east and west are now open for the length of the bridge. The northbound Scenic Drive ramp onto Whoop-Up Drive has also reopened. The speed limit is still reduced to 50 kilometers an hour. Repair work is expected to finish sometime this month. The municipal election is fast approaching, and a number of events are being held in Lethbridge for residents to hear from city council candidates. This Saturday, the main branch of the Lethbridge Public Library is hosting a chat with a council candidate. Residents can book 5-minute sessions with candidates to discuss issues important to them. Next Monday, the Nordbridge Senior Centre is hosting a meet and greet with council candidates. Tuesday, October 7th, is the first official election forum. It will be for mayoral candidates only. It's at the Public Library main branch. Now, the Lethbridge Chamber of Commerce is hosting an election forum for all candidates on Tuesday, October the 14th. It is being held at the Yates Memorial Theatre. The event is free, but you are required to register. And the Lethbridge Senior Citizens Organization, they are hosting a meet and greet October the 15th. The municipal election is October the 20th. The next generation of professionals are looking to get their foot in the door. The U of L held one of its semi-annual career fairs today. It's the largest hiring event in southern Alberta. 175 recruiters from 85 organizations were set up in the Centre for Sport and Wellness. The university anticipates 2,500 people to attend each career fair. Now, the career fair is open to anyone from the public. The next career fair, that's set for January 28th. 5 students from Lethbridge County are sharing $8,500 in post-secondary bursaries and scholarships. Ethan Honus is one of those students to receive a $1,500 bursary from the Lethbridge County through its post-secondary bursary program, along with Ava Okudo and Anna Campmans. Charisse Overeem and Kobe Urasaki were awarded $2,000 through the Community Benefit Scholarship. Students must have outstanding academic achievements and community involvement. Intake for 2026 applications will start in the spring. And runners will be returning to Mountain View Cemetery. The city of Lethbridge is hosting its second annual Run to Remember. The run offers participants a chance to honor the memory of loved ones. It's meant to be a celebration of life and promote healthy living. The event features a 2.5 and 5-kilometer walk or run. The event takes place on Sunday with registration closing on Saturday. All right, Danielle is back with a 5-day forecast. On the other side of this break, also, one of the newest trends is eating an early dinner, which may also be good for your health. Stay with us.
All right, our Skywatch weather cam. We have certainly had some cloud cover push in throughout the day, but also some blue sky out there in some parts as well. We certainly have some toasty temperatures considering the time of the year. So beautiful weather is what we've had so far this week. We are headed for a decent cool down, absolutely. So that's really going to arrive for the weekend, and you'll definitely feel it. And right now, though, it's still quite nice. So take some time, enjoy the temperatures, enjoy the weather as we have it. Okay, 17 degrees is the temperature in Calgary right now, 18 in Edmonton. This is a little above normal. It is warmer. We pushed our warmer air off to the east here. So 24 is the high so far in Regina, 27 for Winnipeg, and 25 for Thunder Bay. Okay, let's talk about what's happening in closer to home here. And these are some warm temperatures for this time of year. And we're going to see similar temperatures tomorrow, but then after that, it will cool down significantly because of a cold front that's going to pop through tomorrow night. And that's also going to bring in some rain, some cloud cover. The winds are going to pick up as well. So it's going to change the game quite a bit by the time we get into Saturday. And I'll show you that in the Futurecast in just a second. Checking out the winds, just around 40, just above 40 was the maximum wind gust in Lethbridge today in Medicine Hat. So a little breezy, but not too windy, and just above 50 in Pincher Creek. So yes, a little bit windy, but nothing compared to what happened in most communities yesterday with the wind. Here's a look at the cloud cover that's been pushing through. Again, we still have that feed from the southwest, and we will continue to have that throughout the rest of today and through parts of tomorrow. The key thing for tomorrow is that in the far south, yes, we are going to kick off the day with cloud cover, as you can see here in the far southeast corner. There's a good chance of some rain as well. So Friday night is when the cold front starts to kick in, and this is what it means for us on Saturday. Saturday in the morning, we have the potential for some showers, and then by the time we get into 6 p.m., showers, even some thunderstorm activity. Check out way to the north. There is the potential too for those higher elevations closer to Lake Louise and Jasper, that they could get even some wet snow as well, because yes, temperatures will be cooling quite a bit here. All right, let's talk about East Kootenay area. 4 degrees for tonight. There is a risk of frost, and then 17 degrees for a high tomorrow with partly cloudy skies. As we head into the Crowsnest Pass area, it'll still be a little breezy as we go through these next couple of hours, quieting down overnight. 17 degrees is our high for tomorrow with mainly sunny skies, but there will be some cloudy periods, especially in the morning hours. For Medicine Hat, 6 overnight, 18 degrees as a high for tomorrow. So as you can see, we're still holding on to the warmth for another day. But check out this longer range forecast, and you can see that decline as we go through the weekend here. 18 degrees for tomorrow in Lethbridge, a good chunk of sunshine, clouding over late in the day, closer to the supper hours as that cold front starts to make its way in. Then Saturday, that means showers certainly possible. 13 degrees is a high. It will be mainly cloudy and even windy at times. And then by Sunday, some sunshine for sure, but a much cooler air mass will arrive by then with a high of 8.
Now to the rise of the early bird dinner. More and more young people are eating dinner at 5 p.m. or even earlier. ABC's Elizabeth Schultz has that story.
It is 4 p.m. and I just finished my dinner for tonight.
I think we're in the grandma era.
These are just some of the young people joining a new trend.
4 p.m. is the new
it girl time to eat.
Eating dinner early, sometimes as early as 4 p.m.
It has been a game changer for our family.
While data is sparse on the emerging trend, reservation sites like Resy say they've seen an uptick in people choosing to get their grub much earlier than in the past.
So far this year, more people have gone to the 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. reservation than the reservations between 8 and 11 p.m.
The reason for the early trend? Everything from a sense of feeling lighter to living by the natural rhythms of the sun.
I feel better when I eat early. I feel lighter. I feel like I get a lot better sleep and I wake up just feeling more energized.
While the romance of a late dinner still exists, medical experts say there could be some benefits to eating early, including decreasing the risk of obesity. Of course, early dining has another benefit.
You get to the restaurant before everyone else, which is super nice. And then when it starts getting full, you're leaving.
And many restaurants offer early bird deals.
Instead of it being 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., we're doing happy hour now from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock. We saw an even larger uptick with guests that were wanting to, come out right after work and meet their friends right after work to have a really nice dinner and enjoy the deal.
Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, New York.
Still ahead on the CTV News at 5. Some of North America's best rodeo talent are in Edmonton for the Canadian Finals Rodeo. We have sports next. Some Hurricanes games this year will have a little extra flair. The team has released its promotional schedule for the rest of the season. Some of the highlights include Wall of Honor Night, October 17th. That will see the newest induction of the Wall of Honor class. December 5th will be the popular Toque and Teddy Bear Toss. The next night, on December the 6th, fans can get their picture taken with Santa for Santa and Mrs. Claus Night. March 20th is Jersey Off Our Backs Night with a live jersey auction right after the game. For the full list, check out the Hurricanes website. The Canadian Finals Rodeo is underway in Edmonton, and North America's top talent is there to compete, including in a brand new event. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports.
This maneuver is called ranch sorting. Two riders on horseback work in teams to move cattle from one pen to another, working against the clock.
It is actually quite difficult to do, but it's a great sport for beginners to start because there's different levels and you can start at whatever level you're comfortable with.
Robert Bruno is here from Manitoba. It's his first time competing at the Canadian Finals Rodeo.
So to be able to come to the biggest sorting and to be part of the CFR and compete at this level is phenomenal. It's a milestone. It's definitely was on the bucket list.
The national competition brings in some of the best rodeo talent across Canada.
Sometimes they're doing 2 rodeos on the same weekend just to try and make sure they get enough points to make it to Edmonton.
The main action will be inside Rogers Place.
You'll have things like bull riding, saddle bronc, bareback. We also have novice programs on steer wrestling.
The CFR is expected to draw thousands to the city. Explore Edmonton estimates the CFR will have a $32 million economic impact.
We certainly get a lot of Edmontonians, but we also get a lot of people from Western Canada and Canada. Some people traveling in from the U.S. So events like this are huge for our economy.
Looking good after the second, one more to go. Oh, man.
Those inside the corral say the sports have meaning beyond the excitement.
Really family orientated, so as you see, there's kids competing out here, there's old people like me, there's young people, it's a good community.
And a chance to see something new, especially if it's your first rodeo.
Want to get her into it one day, so.
On top of the action in the dirt, the Edmonton Expo was hosting a trade show all weekend.
You can still get tickets to CFR, which runs until Saturday, and the tailgate party is free every day and starts at 4:30. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Toronto Blue Jays find out tonight who their opponent will be in the American League Division Series.
Fair ball! Chisholm to third. He's being waved. Eden coming home. Here's the throw. He's safe.
Now with the series tied at 1 game apiece, the historic baseball rivals play tonight with the winner advancing to face the Jays at the Rogers Centre this Saturday. Now, speaking of Toronto, for a 5th straight year, the Maple Leafs are the NHL's most valuable franchise, that according to Sportico, a digital company which specializes in the business end of the sports world. Sportico claims that the Leafs are worth $4.25 billion. That's a 16% jump in value over last year. They pegged the average value of an NHL team at $2.1 billion. Now, after the Leafs, Sportico has the New York Rangers coming in second on the list, and Montreal rounds out the top 3. Still ahead on the CTV News at 5, how a Vancouver record store owner got to meet Sir Paul McCartney, and we'll tell you what he gave the music legend. When the owner of a Vancouver record store revealed he had discovered a long-lost recording the Beatles made in 1962, it made headlines around the world. But he didn't sell the valuable piece of music history. Instead, he gave the tape to one of the men who made it, Sir Paul McCartney. CTV's Shannon Patterson now on an unforgettable meeting between the record store owner and his idol.
In the 44 years he's owned Neptune Records, Rob Frith has bought a lot of random music collections.
Someone came in about 10 years ago and they had a couple of reel-to-reel tapes. And it just said Beatles early demos with a question mark.
Frith figured it was likely a bootleg copy, so it sat behind the desk at Neptune for a decade until this spring when he booked a studio that had a reel-to-reel player.
We put the tape on, and we thought we'd be hearing like record noise or whatever, and it was like the Beatles were in the room with us.
He posted videos of the 15-song demo on Instagram, and the story blew up.
What we determined after researching everything and having it checked by professionals, we had the actual original master tape that the Beatles recorded January 1st, 1962. It was an audition tape for Decca Records.
It didn't take long for the story to reach Sir Paul McCartney, who invited Rob and his family to Los Angeles 2 weeks ago, where the Friths would give him the tape in person.
I was one that got to hand it over to him, and it was pretty wild. Just weird, kind of being like, and here it is.
This is stuff that Paul signed for us.
While the Friths were asked not to take photos of their meeting, Sir Paul did autograph some Beatles memorabilia for them.
We are looking at my signed copy of Sgt. Pepper's.
The family had lunch with the superstar and even sat in on a rehearsal session.
The four of us got to sit there and have a full set of Paul McCartney and his band playing, and we're the only ones in the audience in the rehearsal space. It was mind-blowing.
He came up behind my mom and goes, "Hi, Vicky, how are you today?" And I thought I saw her soul exit her body right about then.
The Friths know an original Beatles demo reel could have fetched a tidy sum at auction.
And then that tape would have sat in some millionaire or billionaire's basement, never to be looked at again. And, what good is it there?
What they got was better than money.
I got paid in that I got to meet Paul McCartney. That was good enough for me.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Thank you for sharing this time with us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.